AI that doesn't just follow commands, but thinks, plans, and acts on its own. Welcome to the next leap in artificial intelligence, Agentic AI, where machines stop waiting for orders and start working with you. For years, AI has been our smartest tool, reactive, limited, and task-driven. But now, something revolutionary is happening. We're moving from automation to autonomy, AI that can set goals, make decisions, and execute complex actions without constant supervision. From healthcare to operations, businesses are already using agentic AI to eliminate repetitive work, predict outcomes, and drive innovation. This isn't science fiction, it's happening right now. In this video, we'll uncover what agentic AI really is, how it works behind the scenes, and why it could redefine the future of human-machine collaboration. By the end, you'll see why this next leap isn't just about smarter AI, it's about creating smarter possibilities. So stay tuned, and if you're ready to see how agentic AI is reshaping our world, make sure to hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's next.
Today, we are talking about something that is teaching AI to think for itself. Seriously, it's called Agentic AI, and it's taking artificial intelligence from just being a tool to becoming a true collaborator. Think about it. We're so used to telling our devices exactly what to do, step by step. But what if? What if an AI could just understand a big picture goal, come up with its own plan, and then actually see that plan through from start to finish? Well, that's the massive shift we're going to explore right now.
So, what does it really mean for an AI to think for itself? Well, the jump from the kind of automation we're used to and this new agentic AI, it's all about giving these systems real, genuine autonomy. It's like the difference between a calculator, which just does what you tell it, and a financial analyst who actually develops a whole investment strategy on their own.
Yes, so Agentic AI isn't just about checking off a list of pre-programmed tasks. It's about the system itself deciding on its own goals and then making its own decisions to get there, a lot of the time without any human hand-holding. This is basically the moment AI graduates from being a simple task doer to a real problem solver. This comparison really lays it all out, doesn't it? Traditional automation is pretty static. It just follows a script, end of story. But an agentic system, it learns, it adapts. It doesn't need you to spell out every single step from A to B. It can figure out how to tackle these really complex, multi-step problems and find its own way through. And look, this kind of autonomy isn't magic. It's built on a few key technologies that all work together. You've got large language models, LLMs, that give the AI this incredibly deep understanding of human language. Then there's reinforcement learning, which lets it learn from trial and error, just like we do. Symbolic reasoning helps it build logical plans. And finally, natural language processing, or NLP, lets it talk with us in a way that feels natural. Put them all together, and you get a system that can really think and act on its own.
So that's the what. But what about the where? How is this actually showing up in the real world? Because this stuff isn't just theory anymore. Agentic AI is already making a huge impact in some major industries, and it's totally changing how they do business.
Okay, let's start with customer service. Get this, by using AI agents that can actually understand the full context of a problem and handle a case from beginning to end, some companies have slashed their case resolution times by almost half, 45%. That is a huge, huge boost in efficiency.
And it's not just about being faster, it's about being better. One company saw its customer satisfaction rating leap from a respectable 70% all the way up to an incredible 92%. And the reason is pretty simple, right? The AI solves problems faster and more accurately, and that just leads directly to much, much happier customers. The story in healthcare is just as amazing. Agentic systems are helping out with everything from smart scheduling to actually supporting doctors in their clinical decisions. By pulling together medical records and insurance info seamlessly, one provider in the US cut its administrative support volume by 30%. Think about that. That frees up so much time for staff to focus on actually taking care of patients.
And when you start seeing results like that, you begin to grasp the sheer economic scale of what's happening. We're not just talking about improving a few business processes here and there. We're talking about something that's on track to reshape the entire global economy.
Some projections estimate that by 2030, agentic AI could add up to $4.4 trillion to the global economy every single year. I mean, that's a number so big it's hard to even wrap your head around. To put it in perspective, that's more than the entire economy of a country like Germany. This isn't just an upgrade, it's a seismic shift in how we create economic value.
And all this value is being unlocked at a blistering pace. The market is expected to grow by nearly 30% every single year. That kind of explosive growth tells you that companies aren't just dipping their toes in the water anymore. They're literally racing to adopt this technology just to keep up.
When you pull it all together, we're looking at a technology that could, by itself, boost global GDP by as much as 5%. That's a level of economic transformation that you could argue we haven't seen since the dawn of the internet. It's that big.
But with this much power, with this much potential, comes an immense amount of responsibility. The rise of these autonomous AIs is forcing us to ask some really tough questions about control, about ethics, and frankly, about our own place in this new world. And this quote really gets to the core of it. I mean, when an autonomous AI makes a critical decision, who's responsible for what happens next? How do we make sure its choices are fair, that they're not biased? These are the really big questions we absolutely have to answer.
And let's be clear, these challenges are very real. If you train an AI on biased data, guess what? You get biased, unfair decisions. There are huge security risks, like something called prompt injection, that could let bad actors manipulate how the AI behaves. And if we can't understand why an AI made a certain choice, how can we ever really trust it? We have to get ahead of these things with a clear strategy.
So, what's the path forward? Well, it looks like it's a three-step approach. First, we have to establish really clear rules, governance, to make sure these systems are fair and that someone is accountable. Second, we have to demand transparency, so we can actually look inside that black box and understand its logic. And third, we have to actively manage risk by constantly reviewing and testing these systems. This is the playbook for doing this right.
Which brings us to the final and maybe the most important question. The goal here isn't to build a replacement for human creativity and ingenuity, but to build an extension of it. As these AI agents get smarter and more autonomous, the biggest challenge of all is going to be designing a future where they work with us, not just for us. How we choose to build that partnership? Well, that's what's going to define this next era of technology.